this is a more generalistic conference. I think there would have to be definitely, I think Nadeem's idea was to get many people to speak up so that a platform for debate starts, and issues are spread out and then defined so that people can take on those issues. So it's a start. We should now in the next phase get issues defined and get this debate rolling and try and get further with these talks.
And I think you're absolutely right that in our country sometimes there is a rush to make a policy and that it is not backed up by enough hard work and thinking. So we have to, think about what are the optimal size, what are the limits, and how one might try to prevent reaching a situation which is so completely unmanageable, so completely out of control, and which replicates the lessons, of the other developing countries.
Economy is an aggregation of cities. Productivity is a city phenomenon. City GDP is what matters. Rural GDP will always decline as in history. Cities attract investment, education, and innovation. Society and culture is developed in cities. All social development in cities, all major movements, Reformation, Renaissance, Enlightenment, and indeed revolution happened in cities.
Well, I think it's necessary to have some deliberations on these issues because these are very critical, very crucial to the survival of humankind and all life on this planet.
The importance of cities is likely to grow because of globalization. As you rightly said, in one sense, globalization is really interlocking or interconnecting of city centers. And so as globalization demands more competitiveness, as globalization demands more innovation, as globalization demands higher productivity levels, cities and what happens in them and how they are configured and how they respond and how they attract because of their quality of life, the right kind of people will determine, in a sense, the competitive edge of nations and indeed regions.
Every country needs policy ideas, needs policy research to develop policy ideas. All kinds of human intervention into any society is basically policy. And policy has to be based on thinking and research. And our motivation for holding this conference was to develop thinking and research on the subject of cities. PID's role is that of a think tank. Every country has a think tank. We've had it all the way from Plato's Academy to now. A think tank's job is just to raise questions and do research. And our job is just that. Think tank's third job is to educate people. We educate people. With the education of people, you have a demand for change. When there is a demand for change, change always happens. If you think about it, when people began to understand trade liberalization and openness, change happened. When people began to think about independence, change happened. The important thing is for people to understand the issue.
The purpose of the rural-urban concept which has been introduced in Pakistan, the interpretation must be clear in your minds. The purpose of rural-urban divide was not to declare that all the areas in Pakistan have become urbanized as soon as the local government ordinance has been implemented. The purpose was that each and every inch of Pakistan must receive the attention of the decision makers at the local level, at the provincial level, and at the federal level with respect to development. The purpose is coherent development in all parts of the country and simultaneously.
What is urban? This is another issue that you find in literature: rural-urban dichotomy, rural-urban continuum, rural-urban divide, urban-rural conflict. We have so many terms, but still we don't know what really is urban and what really is rural. As Friedman says, that many of the aspects of urban and rural living which have seemed to distinguish the two types of areas may be losing their distinctive characters. And another author says that these terms are the opposite ends of the common scale, and no line of sharp demarcation can be struck through it, dividing justly that which is rural from that which is urban. One imperceptibly melts into the other. So we know that we don't really know what is urban and what is rural.
And the law says either all areas are rural or all areas are urban. But if we believe that the city district government all are urban, then there has to be an urbanization process, and there is urbanization. Even if we delete the word urban from the law, the urban areas are there. Just like I would question that we are talking about cities since morning, but in the local government ordinance there is no use of the word city. There are no cities under the law in Pakistan as such, if you ask me.
There are too many small towns in Pakistan now that may be actually cities. For example, a town like Khushab or a town like Thatta, I mean, these are not small towns anymore. Some of these towns are larger than American cities, population-wise, right? The way I like to look at it is that somehow we have to, these towns themselves have to get the message out, and we have to get the message out. That, hey, there may be a town out there, Targoda for example, with 1 million plus people. That's not a small town. That 1 million plus people represents a market. And once the townspeople realize that they have a market, they start selling themselves to the market. And the corporations recognize that they're a market. Very quickly modernization follows.
The task of city management is becoming very important and very complex. A city needs planning, it needs regulation, it needs zoning, it needs taxation, it needs implementation of projects, it needs a good preservation strategy, it needs to be projected, and all these things have to be done under a administration, under a machinery that is able to take decisions, that is able to implement those decisions, and that is able to project itself and the city in an environment which demands transparency and which demands efficiency.
33% of the land comes under the city district government of Karachi, and the rest has 13 institutions which own the land in the city. So the city Nazim, when he's working, he's blamed, and people don't know what is which land comes under which institution or organization. The whole city needs to come under the city Nazim if you really want effective governance.
एक तो ये बहुत अहम है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट सर्विस बने, क्योंकि डिस्ट्रिक्ट सर्विस के बनने से ही मुकामी सतह पर जो इंतज़ामिया है वो फाइनली रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगी अपनी लोकल गवर्नमेंट को. इस वक्त जो प्रोविंशियल और फेडरल और सर्वेंट्स ऑफ लोकल काउंसिल और लोकल काउंसिल सर्वेंट्स और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एम्प्लॉइज़ और NGOs और ये सब कुछ जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट के स्फीयर में काम कर रहे हैं, इसके ऊपर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है, और वो कंट्रोल ना होने की वजह से वो उसको इफेक्टिवली इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते, चाहे वो पोस्टिंग्स एंड ट्रांसफ़र हो, रिक्रूटमेंट हो, प्रमोशंस के इशूज़ हों, सज़ा और जज़ा का निज़ाम सादे अल्फाजों में.
We have government, we have bureaucracy, we have donors, civil society, elected representative, private sector, poor citizens, rich citizens. So this engine has become very confused now when it comes into the public sector, and there are too many drivers in there.
The devolution exercise grafts on to an administrative structure that is essentially federal, because the civil service is controlled federally. It is a federal civil service. Even the provincial secretaries are on loan from the federal civil service. Even the DCOs are on loan from the federal civil service. How do you graft a civil administration system decentralized on a federal system that is so centrally and surgically controlled?
Urban sprawl, this movement of the population into the large cities, created what I have referred to as the ruralization of our urban areas. Actually, the country should have been urbanizing its rural areas. Instead, what was happening willy-nilly was a ruralization of the urban areas. Why? Because we had no grand plan, no overall scheme of things for the urbanization of our rural areas.
The reason we chose cities is because cities is where economic activity takes place in every country. through the earliest time, all the way from the Sumerian cities to the Egyptian cities to the Roman cities to whatever, it is cities that created human innovation, created human activity, created human GDP, and that's what leads to growth. Our contention is that Pakistani cities are not properly configured for growth, because Pakistani cities are still not functioning as an administrative unit. Pakistani cities are still not giving preference to development and growth. And for that reason, we wanted to excite a debate on the issue of cities.
4 बुनियादी उसूल हैं, अगर उन पे अमल होता है तो शहरी मंसूबाबंदी जो है वो मुनासिब होती है, सस्टेनेबल होती है. पहली चीज़, ये मैं अंग्रेज़ी में पढ़ूंगा, पहली चीज़, प्लानिंग हैज़ टू रिस्पेक्ट द इकोलॉजी एंड द नेचुरल एनवायरनमेंट ऑफ द एरिया इन विच इट इज़ लोकेटेड. दूसरी चीज़, land use has to be determined on the basis of social and environmental considerations and not on the basis of land value or potential land value alone. Planning must give priority to the needs of the majority population, which in the case of Pakistan belongs to the lower income or lower middle income classes. और चौथी चीज़, planning has to respect the tangible and intangible cultural heritage of human settlements and of the communities that live in them.
Look at Governor's House. For a poor country and a poor province, one person is sitting on 100 acres plus. Why can't that be converted into a fantastic exhibition and conference center where our city could be making $500 million in 5 years and $1 billion in 10 years? We don't even have that location. Which cities have the kind of location where you have Bagh-e-Jinnah on the left, the gardens of the Governor's House, the old Mughal gardens, and that's being excluded from the use of the generation of wealth, the generation of income, which is badly needed for our people's sustainability.
Why do we have facilities that are not used? Excess demand everywhere, and this is something, huge parks, but no city squares, no playgrounds, no domestic commerce, not a single space for warehouses. Our cities, none of them have any city centers, which amazes me. There's no downtown anywhere. People tell me, point to Liberty Market, a few shops. That's not a downtown. A downtown is, I return to this slide, a downtown is this. Mixed use, where people sit down and they can have coffee, they can go to a whatever, entertainment, they have residential flats and shops and everything. There has to be commerce there. In all our cities, there is an excess demand for office. We want to see why Pakistani cities cannot be like Dubai and Singapore. I want to challenge you to think about it. Why can't Pakistani cities be like Dubai and Singapore? Why are we always thinking small? I think that's a very important thing to talk about.
Housing की जो situation है पाकिस्तान में इस वक्त, वो ये है कि 5.5 million housing units की हमें ज़रूरत है, और ये housing backlog है. हर साल 3 लाख मकानों की ज़रूरत पड़ जाती है. पॉपुलेशन जो स्लम्स में रही है मैं पहले बता चुका, जो कंजेस्शन है मकानों में वो 50% लोग जो हैं एक रूम में रह रहे हैं, और फैमिली साइज 6.6.
शहर तकसीम हो गए गरीब और अमीर इलाकों में. ट्रांसपोर्ट कॉस्ट्स तिगने से ज़्यादा हो गए हैं क्योंकि फासले ज़्यादा हो गए हैं. वक्त लगता है आने जाने में, स्ट्रेस उसके अलावा है. शहर घुटता जा रहा है, और जब तक लैंड यूज़ के मसाइल सही तरह से रैशनलाइज नहीं होंगे, ये मुस्तकिल घुटता जाएगा. ज़रूरियात जिन चीज़ों की हैं वो हमने फराहम नहीं की. ना बस टर्मिनल बनाए, ना कार्गो टर्मिनल्स बनाए, ना वेयर हाउसिंग बनाई, ना स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज़ बनाई. अब मसला ये है कि लैंड यूज़ डिटर्मिन कौन करता है. पहले लैंड यूज़ डिटर्मिन करता था, एक बहुत बड़ा पावरफुल नेक्सस था सियासतदानों का, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स का और डेवलपर्स का. इसमें पाकिस्तान की इस्टेब्लिशमेंट फ़ौज भी मुलव्वज़ रही है, मगर अब इनका रोल बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है. इसमें मल्टीनेशनल्स भी आ गए. इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंस जो है तलाश कर रहा है कहीं जगह जहाँ वो पैसा लगा सके. उसकी वजह से भी ये लैंड यूज़ तब्दीलियाँ जो हैं एक इरेशनल और अनसस्टेनेबल तरह से की जा रही हैं.
We have forgot to zone for commerce. We have forgot to zone for education. Schools are built in houses. We have to think about quality and staffing of city planning and bring it into the modern era in the 21st century. We are still in the 19th century, Macaulay's century. Macaulay wrote administrative structures for us. Are we modernizing them in any way? Or are we simply better off trusting the market?
I think the title issue is the main issue for housing. You can have, the State Bank can make all laws, can make all kinds of enabling, they can reduce the debt equity ratio, but till you start computerizing your land record, banks will not lend you. Why are banks prepared to lend people for housing loans in defense societies? Because comparatively, whether it is Defense Lahore or whether Defense Karachi, the land record and the titles are not a major issue. It's a much clearer issue. So nobody will part with their money. You will not have financial help from the financial sector unless we first start off computerizing the office of the registrars and where the land titles are. Once you have it, there are insurance companies who insure the title, and automatically once you have the title insurance, the financial sector steps forward. It's a major revenue stream for them.
Yes, cities are the movement for development. You can't get development out of rural areas alone because they are not to those quantities required to be able to sustain economies on a macro level. What you require is cities to be the steam engines or the locomotives to drive hard and pull with them.
A city that offers everybody something. A city that offers a lot of opportunity to migrants. A city that attracts migration that's a very important component of it. A city that has a lot of culture and history in it. A city that offers you entertainment. A city that offers you learning. Lots of universities. A city that offers you a downtown, a commercial center with so much happening in it, buildings and entertainment and flats and shopping and everything. A city that has a number of shopping malls. A city that has a number of hotels. A city that is buzzing 24 hours a day. Because that city offers you, me, everybody an opportunity.